I think we're all wondering, is Ethereum dead? Is it over? Is it coming back? How long, how patient have Ethereum bag holders been? Personally, for me, I lost my bullishness on Ethereum last cycle. Once the swap started getting outrageous and it was just getting, costing $50 to do a simple swap, it just didn't seem like this was going to work out. So I kind of dropped all my ETH bags. I moved on to other things. Not that I'm not a believer, and I always will believe the charts. If the charts look good, the charts look good. But today we have a video from Cointelegraph. Is Ethereum dying? Or Ethereum is dying? Or is it a hidden gem? Let's find out.
Ethereum has been having a tough time lately. Despite a strong bull market, its price remains far from its all-time highs. Take a look at this chart. The value of ETH versus BTC has been in a steady decline for about 3 years. The sentiment has been overwhelmingly negative, with many wondering if Ethereum's best days are behind it. But could this stagnation actually be hiding a major opportunity? Is Ethereum on the verge of an unexpected comeback in 2025? In this video, we'll explore the reasons behind Ethereum's underperformance and whether an inversion of the trend could be on the horizon. As always, this isn't financial advice, just an educational look at the current state of Ethereum. I'm Giovanni, let's jump right in. Ethereum has lost almost 70% of its value relative to Bitcoin since 2022. There are multiple reasons for that. One reason brutal. Comes down to narrative and competition. Bitcoin has a clear, simple narrative. It's digital gold, a store of value, and has no competition in that role. Ethereum, on the other hand, is harder to explain. It's meant to be a decentralized global supercomputer, the backbone of a new internet. During the last bull market in 2020-2021, Ethereum was the undisputed leader.
Yeah, but they also tried to compete directly with Bitcoin about being hard money, about being digital money. There was confusion that occurred, and they tried to tackle the king. They have, in my view, worse characteristics to be money, but yet went after that. And what did they do? The super sound money. I remember all the memes with like the bat ears and the what the fuck is that thing where they echolocation kind of vibes going on. Like that was part of the issue with Ethereum. It was trying to be too much and was trying to be things that it wasn't.
For smart contracts, NFTs, DeFi, meme coins, everything was happening on Ethereum. Despite high transaction fees, there were basically no other alternatives.
Exactly, right. It was winning because there was nothing else.
Solana, its main competitor, was still in its infancy. Then came the bear market. Solana took a massive hit due to its ties to the FTX collapse, cementing Ethereum's dominance. But flashing forward to today, the picture has dramatically changed. Solana has made a strong comeback and its ecosystem is thriving. Additionally, more competitors like Avalanche and Sui are increasingly gaining traction. Just look at this chart. Ethereum has been steadily losing ground in terms of trading volume on decentralized exchanges and was recently overtaken by Solana. Last year, Solana attracted more new developers than Ethereum. Even the meme coin scene has shifted. Trump.
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that Solana attracted more. That doesn't seem right. Wait, what?
Solana attracted more new developers than Ethereum. Even the meme coin scene has
cherry-picked data. Like that part, I don't believe. Maybe it was just in this particular week or this particular month, this many new developers went on Solana or something. Overall, that can't be true.
Shifted. Trump coin, for example, was built on Solana, not Ethereum. But competition.
Built. That's funny. Built. You mean launched? You mean somebody pushed a button?
And narrative are just the surface. The causes of Ethereum's price stagnation are in its tokenomics.
Most people have the misconception that Instagram is easy to do, but the truth is there's a formula.
In 2021,
it's not just that too. Solana's just easier to use. Ethereum's not as easy to use. Every time I do a swap, I have to do all these approvals. Then I've got to approve spending, and then it's scary, and I have to put limits. Like it's way too easy to get hacked on it. It's not as fun or as easy to use as Solana.
Ethereum introduced EIP.
And people that trade meme coins don't care about decentralization. They don't actually give a shit.
P1559, an upgrade designed to make the network deflationary by burning part of its transaction fees, essentially removing some ETH from circulation with every transaction. The goal was to reduce ETH's total supply over time, which in turn would drive its value up. However, this hasn't worked as expected. Ethereum's supply growth is now close to zero, meaning it is not really deflationary. The main reason is that on-chain activity has largely stagnated. Fewer transactions on the Ethereum mainnet mean fewer ETH tokens are being burned, so there is less pressure on the supply. But why has activity on Ethereum stagnated? This brings us to the core of the issue, the so-called Layer 2 conundrum. During the last bull market, fees on Ethereum sparked so high that the network was basically unusable. To address that scalability issue, Ethereum started increasingly relying on Layer 2 protocols, blockchains that process transactions off-chain while settling them on the Ethereum mainnet. This reduces congestion, making transactions cheaper and faster. But here is the issue. While Ethereum's mainnet remains the backbone of security and decentralization, much of the actual economic activity and value exchange happens on Layer 2. Here's an example. On Ethereum's Layer 1, swapping tokens might cost $20 in gas fees, all of which goes to Ethereum validators. But on a Layer 2, the same swap could cost just 50 cents, with most of those fees going to the Layer 2, not to Ethereum.
The problem with ETH's roadmap is that it explicitly said we don't want these cash flows, we're going to give them to the L2s. So what ETH did with the rollup centric roadmap is it said, we're not going to do execution anymore, we're going to have the L2s do execution.
If you don't understand, so instead of doing like a swap on base layer Ethereum or the L1 for $20, you would go to the L2, whether you're on base or whether you're on Arbitrum or whatever, and then you're going to do, maybe they're going to do 10 or 20 swaps at 50 cents each, and then they're going to batch all that information, the results of those swaps, and then in one transaction put that on the L1 base. I'd say it's weird to say base. Okay, put that on the L1 Ethereum for the just $120. So instead of doing 10 $20 transactions, you're going to do 10 50-cent transactions off-chain or on the L2 and then bring them onto on-chain. So that brings down activity on the L1. But there's less money going into the L1.
And that's where all the money is made.
However, some Ethereum supporters disagree. They argue that over time, if enough activity takes place on Ethereum's Layer 2s, value will eventually flow back to the base layer.
Profit margins for L2s are very high, which again is a very good thing because it incentivizes more and more corporations to build their own Layer 2s.
Yeah, but all this shit is so annoying. When you got to switch bridges, it sucks. It's not fun. And it takes you have to do the transaction on the L1 to get to the bridge, to get to the L2. Then if you want to do the swap for 50 cents, and then if you ever want to come back to the L1, it's just all the bridging shit sucks. That's not fun at all. I'd rather just be on the L1 of a Solana and not have to deal with any of that crap. And when I really want money that I believe in, that I'm trying to hold, I hold Bitcoin.
The activity, once we get to real institutional use and a real user base, that will actually also accrue value to ETH L1 at a much higher scale, which is the whole design point of Ethereum Layer 2s.
But the big question remains, when and if that level of activity will materialize. Right now, the trend isn't looking promising. To make things worse, critics highlight that the proliferation of Layer 2 solutions has increased complexity and led to a significant user experience problem. At the end of the day, users don't want to think about Layer 1s versus Layer 2s. They just want cheap and smooth transactions.
Open the Phantom wallet, use it on Solana, then open the MetaMask wallet and use a DEX on Ethereum. You're gonna see that Solana is much more prepared for the Web3 world, smartphones, etc. And Ethereum, it's stuck like 5 or 10 years ago in terms of UX. Ethereum has a problem that's not.
And these users don't care about decentralization. It's not decentralization. It's not important to them. So Solana is perfectly acceptable, perfectly fine, and preferable to them over Ethereum.
It's going to be solved over the next 6 months.
Why are the same UX issues that plagued the wallets that everyone used in 2021 still there today? The infrastructure on ETH doesn't tell you what you own. You have to find the contract address and you have to add the asset. That is an absurd workflow that's been existed on the ETH side of things for years.
But that's not all. All these challenges have led to growing criticism of the Ethereum Foundation, the organization largely in charge of Ethereum's development. Criticized for being ineffective and overly powerful, the foundation has also dealt with conflict of interest scandals. Ethereum co-founder Vitalik Buterin has stepped in to oversee leadership changes. So is Ethereum doomed? Not necessarily. There are several factors that could turn things around in 2025. Despite its challenges, Ethereum still boasts the largest developer community and the highest total value locked in DeFi. Most real-world tokenized assets, including stablecoins, are built on Ethereum, positioning it as the preferred platform.
Wait, but stablecoins are on every platform now. I mean, that's nothing to say anything about. They're literally on every L1.
For institutional investment. While the Ethereum Spot ETF had a slow start in 2024, things are looking more promising now. With a pro-crypto stance from the Trump administration, the chances of an ETH ETF that allows users to earn yields on their holdings are becoming more likely. If this happens, it could spark a surge in institutional demand for ETH.
The EVM and the Ethereum ecosystem has the first mover advantage. That may not matter from a technology standpoint, but from an institutional adoption standpoint, it does. Like, you want to be on the chain.
Yeah, and the EVM does. I can't say it has first mover advantage either, because there's so many other chains are built off of EVM or can support EVM. So anything that's built on Ethereum can jump to one of these other chains easily if they ever want it to at some point. So it's not that strong of a run. Like, I'm not an ETH believer, honestly. I'm really not at all. And it seems like the only hype right now we have for Ethereum is that, oh, Trump is buying it. Whether that's true or not, oh, Trump is buying, or the ETF is coming. I don't think it fucking matters. I really don't. And what's the point of ETH pumping? Like, does that make the chain better if ETH pumps? Does it make the chain function better? No. It's just the bag holders wanted to pump, of course.
That's been running the longest. You want to be on the chain with the least amount of downtime. Institutional L2. So Deutsche Bank launching their own L2 or announcing their own L2 in November, it de-risks the L2 model for the rest of Wall Street and for traditional finance. And Coinbase is making so much money and making so much, getting so much adoption with their L2. It's inevitable other enterprises will follow that. Sony just launched their L2 as well. So that will catalyze ETH adoption. All this flows through Ethereum itself, and it'll raise the awareness of the ETH asset.
Yes, some say that Base, the Ethereum Layer 2 launched by crypto exchange Coinbase, could be a game changer. With over 110 million users, Coinbase serves as a major gateway to the Ethereum ecosystem, potentially driving wider adoption and increasing use of Ethereum.
When you have Coinbase, the world's biggest centralized exchange in the US with more than 50 million active clients, you have something different to offer. If the Base network grows, it could save Ethereum from the competition.
However, all these external factors won't likely be enough to reverse Ethereum's decline unless its deeper structural issues are addressed. For Ethereum to regain momentum, it will need to make fundamental changes. The current economic model should be restructured to bring more value back to the main chain.
If Vitalik decides, okay, so we need to charge somehow these layer 2s, they start paying fees for data processing capability on layer 1 or for storage of data. So this could certainly drive up Ethereum's price.
The way that ETH...
Yeah, it could drive up Ethereum's price, and then these L2s will move to a different L1 that doesn't charge them to do this kind of shit.
The asset accrues value is by scaling the L1 and taking those execution fees. You have to compete directly against the L2s to do that. If they do not, I expect ETH price performance to be sideways to down.
Some experts, including consensus leader Joseph Lubin, suggest Ethereum should focus more on scaling.
Isn't this like crabs like getting out of the pot? Like the L2s are crawling out of the pot, and that the L1 is like grabbing them back down and pulling them back in the pot. Like you're fighting yourself.
Layer 1, rather than relying too heavily on layer 2 solutions. Some steps have already been taken in that direction. Earlier this month, Ethereum increased its gas limits for the first time since 2021, which should help improve transaction capacity on the main chain. So, here are a few final thoughts on this. 2025 is likely to bring favorable conditions for crypto. Potential regulatory support from the Trump administration could boost ETH's price, but that alone won't reverse Ethereum's struggles. The real challenge is that the competition is moving fast. Other protocols are quickly catching up, and Ethereum needs to address its structural issues before its dominance is further eroded. To remain competitive, Ethereum must adjust its Layer 1 and Layer 2 model to ensure it stays economically sustainable. It can't afford to wait much longer. If these issues aren't fixed soon, Ethereum risks losing its position in the market. And now it's your turn. Do you agree with this analysis? And are you bullish or bearish on Ethereum for 2025? Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more updates. See you in the next one.
I think the Ethereum bag holders are going through major cope right now. I really do. And it sucks, man. Like if you were a big ETH head before, and there was reason to be, definitely it was the chain. But we always hear about people that hate Bitcoin. They're always talking about like, oh, why do you think the first technology is the one that's going to win? Don't you think technology always gets improved upon, and the first one's not the one that wins? I think that's the example we're going to see with Ethereum. I think Bitcoin you're not going to beat. I don't think Bitcoin you can beat it. I don't think you can start a new true digital money in a fair way. I think Bitcoin is the only option we have for that. I don't know another way to launch a digital money in a fair way, especially a proof of work, because I don't think proof of stake is a fair model for a money at a launch point. And I think Ethereum is the dinosaur, and the new technology that's coming out will destroy it. I don't particularly think it's Solana. I think Solana is fun to use, but I don't think it's decentralized enough to be like the world computer. Maybe it's Sui. I don't know enough about Sui. Maybe it's Say. Maybe it's all these ICP or whatever. There's so many new L1s to work with. So I don't hold ETH. Actually, I do hold ETH. That's not true. I just entered a trade 2 days ago, but it's a short-term trade. So I will continue to trade the chart, but I'm not bag holding ETH. I don't know what would ever make me switch or change that belief either. I don't see the bull case for a long-term hold. But if you do, let me know. Do you hold ETH? Is it big for you? Are you still a hard believer in it? If you enjoyed this video, subscribe to the channel. Stay elegant. Check out Constellation DAG, my favorite utility token. Check out Most Elegant Monkey Ever, the best meme token out there.